Well, we have our second special needs case here at Snake Discovery that was just surrendered, and this is a leopard gecko that's going to need a vet appointment ASAP. This is Mochi, a 7-year-old leopard gecko who was loved very much by her previous owner, but she does need a lot of TLC, and her previous owner dropped her off because she knew that she was not able to provide what Mochi needs to get better. So let's take a closer look. Mochi here is 7 years old, and the life expectancy for leopard geckos is actually about 20 years, if not a little bit more, so she is still relatively young. From what I understand, she was fed almost exclusively waxworms, but the first thing you may have noticed is she's pretty rough on the edges here. She has several toe tips that are missing. She has a couple toes that are infected with stuck shed that's been there for quite a while. Her tail is showing some issues of dysecdysis, or poor shedding. And her eyes, we're pretty sure she has an eye infection in one eye, and she has some discharge in the other. So let's take a look here. Her right eye, even though she kind of has it squinted now, it was open earlier, but when it does open up, come on, girl, can you open up your eye?
You can see her nose too.
Yeah,
There's
her
something
nose
going
is,
on there.
She's got some sort of infection with her nose, or it's irritating her. You can see how it's a reddish color. But yeah, I mean, she's not really opening her eye for us right now that much, but from what we could see, it does seem to have almost a film over it. And her left eye actually was pretty glued shut when she first arrived, but with some humidity over the last couple of hours, she was slightly opening that one too, but she seems to have issues with that one as well. And then if you look on top of her head, we don't quite know what that is going on right here. We were told that she scratches her head on the underside of her cave opening. We're not sure exactly if that would cause this kind of wound. Possibly. I mean, there is a chance that that may have started this, but it definitely seems to be infected. So her tail, I'm pretty sure she's going to be losing the tip of her tail here. That looks like it's starting to go necrotic, meaning the tissue is dying. But she does have an original tail. If you look, she has these ridges, which are actually fracture planes, all the way down, and leopard geckos are able to break off their tail at any one of these fracture planes, and once they drop it and regrow their tail, it regrows smooth without any vertebrae on the inside. So it's kind of cool. You can look at a radiograph or x-ray of a leopard gecko, and if they have a regenerated tail, you can tell exactly where it broke off in the past. So her tail here, speaking of which, is pretty skinny. It's not like death's door skinny right here, but this is definitely thinner than we want it to be. We want that to be a pudgy tail, which is just fat storage for leopard geckos. So she is quite a bit underweight. If you look at her toes, she also has some stuck shed on those toes and on her feet in general, but it looks like her back left foot, just the whole foot overall, seems to be pinkish in color, so that's pretty irritated to her. We're really curious to see what the vet says about her, and we're going to be scheduling a vet appointment ASAP tomorrow morning. Today is a Sunday, so we're going to call tomorrow morning, make an appointment, and see what all she has going on. Well, we are on our way to the vet, and here's little Mochi. Hi, sweetie. Oh, you poor thing. You just look terrible. What is up with your eye? Like, that is just so bizarre. Both eyes, they're like cloudy and watery. I think she's got some sort of an eye infection going on. She's definitely going to lose the end of that toe. It's already necrotic, as is the tip of her tail. You are just in rough shape. And then what's going on with your head there? The good thing is she pooped in her quarantine bin, so I actually brought it with, which sounds weird, but now we can have a fecal done so we can see if there's any parasites or anything else going on, and then we can get you on the right meds. Yeah, we'll get you on the road to recovery. Hi. You are a sweetheart, though. Oh, you poor thing. Oh, we'll hopefully know more here soon. Alright, Mochi was just picked up and brought inside, so hopefully I get a call in about 10-15 minutes with what to do. My guess is that she's going to need some sort of ophthalmic ointment or eye ointment, and that'll just be applied, probably maybe like terramycin or something, that'll be applied to the eyes to help with that eye infection that I suspect she has, and we'll need some other sort of topical cream, I'm thinking like an antibiotic cream to go on her head and maybe her tail, and other than that, we'll just be feeding her a lot, pumping her full of vitamins and calcium, and keeping the affected areas clean. That's my guess anyway, but we'll see when I get that call. Well, we are back from the vet, and it turns out it's not just an eye infection, it's actually hypovitaminosis A, which is a lack of vitamin A in the diet. Hypervitaminosis is too much of a vitamin, hypovitaminosis is too little of one. So she has hypovitaminosis A, which totally makes sense because lack of vitamin A often causes eye issues in reptiles. So let's take a closer look here. Here she is. Hey, little girl. So while he was cleaning up her feet from all the stuck shed that I was too nervous to remove because it was by some sensitive areas, the tips of a couple toes just fell off, including this necrotic one. Yeah, that one just came off, and
that one looks like it's going to continue to fall off too.
Yeah, there's a little more that still might come off here. But he was able to get her to drop part of her tail, which Dr. Gates has some amazing technique that involves a little bit of pressure and a certain movement that encourages leopard geckos to naturally drop their own tail at any one of these fracture planes he'd be able to get her to drop it at. So Dr. Gates was able to get her to naturally drop her own tail a couple segments above where that necrotic area was, and by having her do that naturally herself, then there's no blood involved as opposed to if he had to amputate it himself. And this helps promote the quick healing process too. So I thought that was really cool that he was able to get her to drop her own tail. He's gonna have to show me that technique or something, because that's really neat that he was able to do that.
Special treatment.
Yeah, special.
That's why you go to him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Dr. Gates always impresses us. But yeah, so the hypovitaminosis A, or lack of vitamin A, can also cause skin issues, so that's probably why we're seeing all of this like very thin skin and irritated skin on her head and kind of throughout her body, especially on her tail too. The fact that she only ate like waxworms in her previous home and she was given calcium powdered waxworms occasionally, but no multivitamin at all, it doesn't really surprise me that she has a lack of vitamin A, so we're gonna just try to pump her up full of it ourselves. She actually got a vitamin A injection today too.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, Dr. Gates said that within 48 hours we should see those eyes start to clear up, and we'll be giving her another injection ourselves in about a week, and that should help catch her up for that vitamin. So the medications we have to give her are the terramycin, the ophthalmic ointment that I kind of figured we'd be giving her. This is just an eye ointment. We'll be doing this once a day, and to help keep her recently dropped limbs clean, we'll be giving her a shallow diluted chlorhexidine foot bath just to kind of help clean all that up. So let's start with the terramycin. I'm just gonna set her here. You can see that there's a couple little blood spots from the toes that dropped, and she did throw up her waxworms from today. That was just from the car ride, so that's what that is. Yeah, did you not like the car ride? Here, let's give you some terramycin. We're gonna do your first treatment here. So
Terramycin's pretty common.
Oh yeah,
eye ointment.
I
think we've used it for birds and reptiles.
Yep, it's used in small animals and yeah, all sorts. It's a very good eye ointment. So we're just gonna put a little bit on the finger. We're gonna gently, I know.
No, you're not.
Yeah, we're gonna gently wipe a little bit on each eye. Got some there, got about half of it off.
No!
Yeah. And we'll get the other half on this eye. It's kind of goopy stuff too. Makes their eyes look really wet on small furry animals when you apply this. On reptiles though, you can't really tell a difference once it's applied. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do once a day. And next, let's get her foot bath ready. For her foot bath, to help sanitize her feet and her tail that was recently dropped, we're actually gonna use the same disinfectant we use for everything here. It's just diluted chlorhexidine. And this is great for actually use on reptiles themselves too, just keeping things clean. So we're gonna put about a ½ inch in there, just enough to cover her toes. There you go. And we're just gonna let her run around for about 10 minutes or so, and that should help flush things out and keep them clean after they just dropped.
She's like, I can escape this.
Yeah, I don't wanna be in here. I know. Here, I'm gonna put this over you. Sorry, go soak your feet.
Well, I'm not sure, but it does look like she's enjoying her bath.
Yeah, it does. Aww. I just can't wait to see her bounce back.
Yeah, she's in rough shape.
Yeah, poor thing. But with the right meds and a better diet, it sounds like...
Not just waxworms?
Yeah, it sounds like it's not like a parasite or a virus or anything. It's really just lack of proper vitamins that causes all of this. I mean, there's also probably a lack of humidity if she had the stuck shed on the tip of her tail and on her toes. But she might have had problems shedding as a result of lack of vitamin A, too. She was also given fluids today, too, because it doesn't hurt, he figured, so we gave her a meal of fluids just to help out.
Just to boost everything.
Yeah, so she got poked a couple times today. Fluids and vitamin A.
That's why she's so sleepy.
Yeah, she had a big day.
It's a big day at the vet, and now I have my tootsies and some warm water.
It's gotta feel good.
Yeah, it's like a pedicure after going and getting a vaccine.
Yeah, I guess. All right, girl, now that you're crawling out, first soak is done, first eye med is done, first vitamin A injection is done. Whew, so now we just get to do this once a day for a couple of weeks, and a week from today, another vitamin A injection, and we'll see how you're looking. Oh, you poor thing. I promise you'll be feeling better soon.
Yeah, and then we can get you eating mealworms.
Yeah, we can get you on a better
roaches.
diet, too. Okay, we have had Mochi now for just over a week. I gave her second vitamin A shot, and so she's done with shots. She is looking pretty rough around the edges because of her eye ointment she gets every day, but she's gaining a little bit of weight, and her tail seems to be healing nicely. I know it looks rough, but it is healing. She does not want to eat much on her own, though, right now, probably because of her eyes. It's just hard for her to see. So even though she has some crickets and some mealworms, she hasn't even been wanting to eat waxworms for us, so I've actually been tube feeding her some Rapashi grub pie for some extra calcium, or for extra nutrients and protein, basically. And yeah, she's taking that very well. Oh, you're fine, you're fine. So even though she's acting fine and starting to gain weight, we definitely have a long ways to go. Yeah, don't we, Mochi? Well, that's okay. We'll check back in a little bit. Oh, wow, yeah, I know. I'm not tube feeding you right now. It's okay, it's okay. Hi, little Mochi. Are you enjoying your bath? I don't know. I think she's starting to like her baths. Hey. How are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to surprise her. Look at her eyes, guys. Like, they are clearing up so well. And her toes have all healed up. We've had her for a couple of weeks now, and her tail is looking so great. Hi, sweetie. I'm just really looking forward to the odd patchy skin on her head to heal up. That'll be really nice. Update time on Mochi. Hi, pretty girl. Oh, your eyes look so much better. Look at you. You look so good. And it looks like you actually started eating again, too. Probably because your eyes can open again. Oh, look at that tail. That tail is healing so well. Good job, Mochi. So I actually had waxworms, of course, because that's all she would eat, and mealworms, and she ate everything. So she's starting to eat mealworms now, too. I put the waxworms in there to lure her over, and I think it worked. You're starting to gain some weight in your tail, too. Oh, you're doing so well. Ready to see some awesome improvement? Come on, Mochi. Prove to everyone that you won't just eat waxworms anymore. Come on, eat this giant mealworm. Doesn't that look tasty?
Oh,
nope, it's not over
here?
there. Nope, it's not over there. So you're not very bright, but you're cute. Go on.
Oh,
Yeah!
just had to wiggle in front of her.
Go, Mochi! Yeah, you're eating like everything now. She's eating crickets and mealworms and giant mealworms and superworms. You're getting a varied diet now. Yeah, and it shows. Do you want another? Yay! That's so cool to see. Good job, girl. Well, we've had Mochi now for about 2 months, and look at how much better she looks. Mochi, you're a whole different gecko now. Her toes have all healed. She is, forever missing a couple of her toe tips, actually quite a few of her toe tips. And if you look at her eyes, they are clear and they are open. Look at those beautiful eyes that she has. She does have what I believe is some scarring on her head that might improve over time, but it's probably going to take a while before it starts looking normal and scaled again. But it's at least healed and it's not infected anymore. So she is doing so well. She made like a 180-degree turn in these last 8 weeks, and she is officially done with her medications. She's also gained quite a bit of weight with us, and she just overall is behaving a lot better. She seems happier and more
she's
comfortable.
actually moving around in your hands.
Yeah, she's so alert now. And one of the greatest things that has happened now, other than the medication doing its job, is she is now eating all sorts of things. When we first got her, she would only eat waxworms, and that's what she was fed, which is what caused all of these health issues from lack of variety. But now she is eating crickets and giant mealworms and superworms and regular mealworms and occasionally a waxworm treat. But because she's eating a variety, she's really looking better, and she's actually gained a bit of weight with us too. If you look at her tail, it's quite a bit thick. Man, you are so active, Mochi. Here, let me show off your tail. It's quite a bit thicker than when we first got her. It looks...
She's actually grown back the tip.
Yeah, look at that. She actually has regrown or regenerated the tip of her tail that Dr. Gates had to have her remove, basically, so it wouldn't spread an infection. So everything is healed, except for the scarring on her head.
Everything's looking up Mochi.
It's looking up Mochi. So she will actually be for adoption in our adoption island starting tomorrow. And I'm so excited to see her go to her new forever home. I do, of course, want to thank our employees for doing such a great job with her. They every day gave her foot bath, which she started to like, I think, near the end of the treatments. And they every day gave her eye medication, which she didn't like as much.
Yeah, she never leaned back and went, with the eye medication.
Like she did in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope whoever gets her gives her foot baths sometimes because she now really likes them, I think. But yeah, we are going to set her up in Adoption Islands tomorrow, and we will update you again when she finds a new home. I also want to thank our Patreon backers a little early in today's video because it was your funds that paid for her vet bills and her antibiotics. So thank you so much. Mochi also thanks you. You
Doesn't
saved
look
her.
like she's thanking you, but,
Yeah,
she's thanking you.
Yeah, she has a very judgmental stare. She's like, where are the worms?
Yeah, feed me.
Well, guess what, guys? Mochi found a home. She's gonna go home with Veda and Molly today. And I've gotta ask, are you gonna keep the name Mochi or change it?
I think I'm gonna change it to cat.
To Cat? That's adorable.
Yeah.
With a K or a C?
No,
A C.
A C,
like a kitty cat.
That's adorable. She has the perfect personality for it. And we've already talked about everything she needs as far as vitamins and diet goes. So she'll be in perfect hands, I'm sure.
Yes, we're very excited. And we're going to keep you updated on how she's doing and give her a good home.
We would love that. Thank you for adopting her. And there's Mochi. Mochi, you're going home. I mean, Cat, you're going home. Well, Mochi went to a fantastic home, and I'm glad that we got to, see her transform from the day that we got her where her eyes were squinty and they were cloudy. I honestly thought she might lose vision in one or both of her eyes. She was missing toes, the tail tip was infected. She was just a mess when she got here, but thanks to the help from our employees and to our friend Dr. Gates over at Valley View Pet Hospital, we were able to fix her up, and now she's living the best life possible. So instead of ending the video without any reptile at all, I figured I'd show you our newest rescue. This is Rio. She is a common boa constrictor, and she has quite a sad story. She was a classroom pet in southern Minnesota, and in March of 2020, when COVID hit, everyone, faculty, staff, students, left the school and left her behind. And they didn't come back until December. So she was alone, abandoned in the school for 9 months. And when they came back for her, she surprisingly was still alive. She obviously, from what I understand, hadn't eaten in that length of time. And the staff was given until February 1st to find her a new home, or they were just going to euthanize her. Which is a bit of an overreaction, I think. But thankfully, someone in the area heard of her, and she had reptiles too, so she went and she rescued her and got her in January, and then has had her since January, so it's been about 6 months. But she's only been able to get her to eat once. I guess she's been a pretty picky eater for them. So she asked if she could surrender her to us, because really she was just getting her out of the school so she wouldn't be euthanized.
Yeah, she didn't want to see a perfectly healthy snake just get euthanized for no good reason.
Right, so we took her in, and after her health check we discovered that she actually does have quite a few kinks behind her head. So she holds her head funny like this, but she is a big sweetheart. She was a little bit thin when we first got her, but we've had her actually for a few weeks now, so I guess she's not our newest rescue because we have some other beardies and such.
Like that beardie over there
That
who came
beardie?
in yesterday
Yeah, you
and
pooped all over.
everywhere.
Really? You've been there for less than 12 hours. Anyway, we have now been able to get her to eat live rats at first, and now she's on frozen thawed, so she is officially available for adoption, and she'll probably have already found a home by the end of this video, but we wanted to end with another rescue. So another happy ending anyway.
Yeah, how many rescues did we find homes for
We
this
had
weekend?
7 reptiles get adopted this
Nice.
weekend. Yeah,
That's
maybe
awesome.
more. But
Yeah, we actually have open space in our adoption island now.
right, usually all these are full, so some very generous people with
Big hearts.
big hearts came in and gave some wonderful homes to some of our rescues, which makes room for more cases like Rio. So thank you everybody involved, from our staff to our wonderful vet friends and our customers who come in to adopt animals. and our Patreon backers for your very generous support that helps pay for the medical bills needed for these special cases. We'd also finally like to thank everyone watching our videos, because you help us out and these animals out tremendously too. Thanks everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, Rio.
Bye, Rio. You're a sweetheart.